Hey everybody, Mike Steele here with Barbecue Champs Academy, and we got a great show lined up for you tonight with Mr. Robby Royal with Rescue Smokers and Mr. John Lindsey with All Queued Up. Got a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking obviously a little bit about steak and barbecue tonight. So as you roll in, we already got 15,000 already on. That's a great number this early. So give us a shout out and let us know where you're at. We got Mr. Gordon on here from Fort Worth, Texas. All right, Gordon's down here in our neck of the woods, man. I got plenty of places for you to eat over there. So if you're going to be in town, you just let me know. Hit me up, and I'll give you some spots that are must go to places. So, Mr. Raz was with us as well. Appreciate you being here. Candace, how are you doing this afternoon? Thank you for joining us, Mr. Michael. Thank you, buddy. What's up? We're doing good. Mr. Merv is up. Hey, brother, what you doing? We got Dan on tonight. Dan down in Houston, Texas. Be cranking out them awesome and skillets, man. I still have mine sitting right over here. It's in my shop. Every day I walk by and I look at it like, man, that thing is nice. So we appreciate you being on our show tonight. Jared, thank you for being here. We're trying to get Jared on our show. I think we're going to try to get him on next week. He is from Canada. It's a very fascinating story of what he has done. He took Corey Mike's class. He qualified for the Jack Daniel Invitational. He had a couple 700 scores, and I think had one of the highest scores ever in KCBS up in Canada. And then about a month and a half ago, he had an opportunity to go down to Houston, Texas to cook, or not Houston, went down to Texas to cook, borrowed a pit, never had cooked down in Houston. And Mr. Jared got a first place brisket. So it's going to be really interesting to hear a little bit about him. So I hope everybody will join us when you see that name. And we're going to see if we can get Jared on here hopefully next week. Miss Brenda, thank you for being with us tonight. And I guess, let's see who else we got. Oh, Robby. Got Robby on here from Kansas City, Missouri. Love that place up there. Looking forward to going back to the American Royal this year. Who else we got? Got Mr. Joey on here from Vinceboro, North Carolina. Thank you for being here, Joey. Appreciate it. Justin, man, I tell you what, this guy here, he has been absolutely killing it and doing a lot of practicing. I'm not going to say absolutely been killing it. He's been doing a lot of practicing for KCBS. He got a chance to go to, I don't know if it was his first, no, it wasn't his first KCBS. He got his chance to go to his first class after taking, I think he took Sterling's class. And man, he absolutely had the highest calls that he had in ribs and in chicken. I think he finished third overall against some heavy hitting teams. So he has just absolutely been putting in the work, and it paid off. And Justin, congratulations, man, on a great weekend. And thank you. Yep, I had another RGC this weekend. We're still rolling. We'll talk a little bit about that. Good evening, Mike from Half-Ass Warm Tundra. I'm hoping it's warming up there for you. So, Brody, thank you for being with us tonight. We really do appreciate it. This young man has just been killing it, and had another pretty good weekend this weekend. I know you had some calls. We're just continuing to following you and watching you, Brody, and you've been doing really well, man. Keep it up. Let's see. Michael down in Gonzales, Louisiana. Appreciate you being with us, Michael. That's a great place down there, and we had a great time in Marksville competition this weekend down in Marksville, Louisiana. Mary Cross from northern Wisconsin. Thank you, Mary, for being with us. Sean, thank you for being with us. How are you doing today? David Owens, we appreciate you being here. Corbin, thank you for being here. I said Corby. Troy, Texas. Man, we got a lot of folks here. Herb, thank you for joining us tonight. Mark, thank you for being with us. Danny Titus, got a good chance to visit with him this past weekend. They came in on Thursday, and we got to go eat some of that great food down in South Louisiana. We had a great time, and Danny's been killing it. His chicken had a fifth place chicken this weekend. So looking forward to cooking with him again. I think he's going to come up here in my neck of the woods to Minden, Louisiana in June. Merv, okay, southern Illinois. Appreciate you being here. Mark, let's say hello from communist occupied Austin, Texas. Thank you, Mark. We appreciate you being with us tonight as well. Caitlin Crane, looking forward to the show tonight. We are too. It's going to be a great one. Jared, thank you for being with us. Look at here, we got the champ in the house, Mr. Terry Roan. Thank you for being with us tonight, Terry. Got Chuck with us tonight. Alan, we appreciate you being here all the way from Covington, Georgia, up there in Robby's neck of the woods. Stephen, we appreciate you being with us. Crackling Coal Barbecue. Bobby Stewart, come on now. Looked like you had a pretty good call over there in Terrell this weekend. So, Gary from Memphis, Tennessee. Glad to have you with us tonight, Gary. George, all the way from West Virginia, is with us. Monty, thank you for being with us tonight. Beryl, thank you for being with us all the way from Portland, Oregon. Man, we got quite a few folks from coast to coast. Let's see, I don't know if Pitmaster Matt is on, but he won his first grand champion in day 2 of his second competition ever. Man, that is absolutely awesome. That young guy, he is definitely putting in the work as well, and it was great to see him. I did not see him post that, so thanks for letting me know, Justin. Amy, appreciate you being with us. Christopher, thank you from Connecticut. Man, alive, we got them everywhere, coast to coast. And Roxanne, appreciate you being with us tonight, Roxanne. Man, we got quite a few. Got 50 people on here right now. We got a good crowd tonight. We've got, like I said, several. Getting a message. There we go. I had a message come in. We got quite a show tonight. Robby Royal, we're going to talk a little bit about the updated classes that he has got. Came in a couple weeks ago and filmed everything. We'll talk a little bit to John about his big weekend that he had, and giving everybody just a few more minutes. Got folks just steadily coming in. It's been really nice to see this kind of turnout. Man, we've been doing pretty well with our podcast, and we really do appreciate everybody's support. Every week in and week out. We'll give everybody a couple more minutes to get in. We still have folks coming in. Chris, thank you for being here from Lampasas, Texas. Thank you for joining us. We had a great weekend. I went down to Marksville, Louisiana. I don't have my trophy, but I got another one of them nice, big, tall trophies like that. Not quite as big as that Grand Champion trophy from Marksville. I got Reserve Grand Champion. My good buddy Brady Bodine, shout out to him. He got a RGC. Chicken's still been my nemesis. We had another second place rib, another second place brisket. We have been killing those two, and I'm pulling out my grill. I'm going back to my drum. That's what I've always cooked chicken on over the years. I've been playing around with trying to get these chickens grilled to see if I'd get a better flavor, and it's just too inconsistent for me. I'm going back to my 22-inch WSM. That is a chicken cooking machine. So fingers crossed this weekend my chicken can find a top 5, and if it does, and I can get that brisket and rib across the finish line in them top places like I have been, I'm hoping that we might get a grand champion. It's a state championship over in Emory, Texas. It's a first-time event, so we're looking forward to that. We're going to go over there and support it. This young man right here, Mr. Steven, he is killing it in chicken. Maybe I need to do what he's doing. He had a first place in Fort Worth a couple weeks ago, 70 teams. I think there was 55, 60 teams over in Terrell this weekend. Another first-place chicken. So I know he said that he's taking Lee Hickles' class and Bill Purvis's, and we appreciate that, and thank you for the shout-out, Steven. And, man, you're killing it. Keep it up. I don't know where you're going to be cooking this weekend, so let us know where you're going to be cooking. Jana Mays, thank you for being here. Had a fantastic weekend. Yep, things are rolling. Hello from McDough, Georgia. I've been there before when we were sponsored by Snapper on our race car. They sponsored us for 4 years. We got a chance to go to McDough, Georgia, and view the Snapper facility. And that was a really, really cool place. Craig, thank you for joining us. Yep, I know how to cook a chicken. Yes, you do. That's for sure. Did your wife hit? Yeah, no, she did not. I leaned up underneath my smoker. I noticed my fire was running a little bit hot. I've got one damper that I've got set, even though my damper's closed. I use a stoker to control my fire, but I've got one vent slightly cracked open where I always have just a little airflow. And I was noticing it was running a little hot when I glanced into when I opened. I've got a rotisserie, and I could see it was glowing. And I leaned under there to see if that thing had opened up. When I raised up, I had a little piece of metal that was sticking out, and it caught me. Just barely scraped it. That's all it is. So, no, I always treat my wife good. Happy wife, happy life, and I get to go cook. So, anyway, but I have to give her a shout out too. She had a first place dessert. She had a first place last time in November down in Marksville. So she's doing really good and having a lot of fun doing the comps. Bruce, thank you for being with us from Tifton, Georgia. Those classes are very helpful. Thank you, Brody. Man, you've been killing it, and keep it up. Mike, take a chicken class. Yeah, you would think I would. I've got several to choose from, but I just simply will not run any of the guys' recipe. I've always said that. I'll always stick to that. And I just kind of run my own stuff. I've been doing that for many, many years, and I will continue to do that. So I'm going to get something figured out. I've been playing around with some new stuff, and we'll get it figured out. I'm going to go back to my drum and start from there, and we'll see what happens. So, but yeah, we had a good weekend down in Marksville. Going to head over to Emory, Texas this weekend. We got a state championship cook-off over there. And hopefully the brisket and rib continue. So far, 3 first-place brisket, 3 second-place brisket, and a 5th-place brisket. My last 7 comps on brisket and ribs. I don't know, I've lost count, a whole host of second-place and finishes with those as well. So it's been pretty good. Got another one popping on, Blake. I might food to be here. Congrats on the RGC. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. We keep rolling, having a lot of fun, and enjoying the beautiful weather. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous weekend. 68 degrees, 70 degrees was the high on Saturday. Nice winds out of the north. It was really, really awesome. So, Justin, you're going to be in D.C. All right. Anyway, well, it looks like we've got a few more folks coming on, but I think we've got enough. Real quick shout out to all of our partners. Like I said, we couldn't do what we do without these guys. Prairie Fresh, Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop, Mr. Brian Crawford at Crawford's Barbecue Products, Texas Select Seasoning, Mr. Gunnar Wilhelm. David has got some wicked, wicked sharp knives. Always love using his stuff to keep everything trimmed up and looking right. Dustin down at the barbecue store. If you're looking for getting stuff shipped out quick, both Dustin and Lone Star can do it for you. And Mr. John Lindsey, all queued up. And last but not least, my dear friend down at Daigle's Barbecue Sauce. I love her sauces and glazes. They go on a lot of my product, and I highly recommend you. If you haven't tried them, you need to, because they are absolutely wonderful. Check them out. Well, it's about that time. We're going to go in and bring in Mr. Robby Royal, Rescue Smokers. Hey, brother, how you doing?
How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. You know, I'm living the dream, you know, getting out, getting a chance to cook, and so far it's been a great year, and I've picked up a couple RGCs, and
That's great.
been solid in the top 10. And what about you, man? You've been tearing the trail up in Georgia.
No complaints. Had a good weekend this weekend. Final in rib, took a second place. Went to took 4th in pork, and we won't talk about loin this weekend. Just had a hiccup there, but doing great here in Georgia right now. I believe I'm leading the ribs, 2nd in pork in the state right now, and I think 3rd, about 4th in loin right now. So real happy where I'm going, where I'm doing with the new recipes I've been using since last April, and that we're fixing to reveal tomorrow, and the exact technique for using all those rubs. And just been a great year. You know, had a great brisket result, had a great chicken result. The one event I've cooked using the new recipes with a 1st and a 2nd. And my pork recipes doing great on hog. So I'm excited about that. We got Memphis in May coming up in 3 weeks. So really excited about that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you've got some new recipes, and that's one of the things that we kind of wanted to talk about tonight. So Robby came in a couple weeks ago, updated all of his recipes: brisket, rib, pork butt, chicken, and also his loin. He's got a lot of new rubs, and if you bought his classes, they will be added to your account. It'll be another video that'll be at the bottom. It'll be the last one. It'll say 2023 updated recipe, and just follow along with what we've got there. It'll tell you everything that you need. We were trying to get them up today, but my webmaster was traveling, and with him traveling, he couldn't get to the computer. So he said he'll get on them sometime tomorrow. We will put a video out and post on Barbecue Champ Academy's website, Facebook page, when those are actually up. And if you haven't bought Robby's class, I tell you right now, it is a great one, and a lot of people have done incredibly well with Robby's classes. Sound like you got Ford in the background tearing everything up.
No, that's my granddaughter Elena doing that. So I think Stephanie just got her to be quiet. So
There you
maybe.
go. All right, well, let's bring in this other guy real quick. We all know him, Mr. John Lindsey, all queued up. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Hey guys, how you doing, Robbie and Mike? Good to be here tonight. Real
Good,
excited,
John.
and it's always to be glad to be on here with Mr. Robby Royal and Mike Steele. So we're glad to be here with you.
Yeah, I was going through my little banner that I put out, and the last time I had Robby on, I had you on as well.
Yep,
So,
yep.
man, it was so easy. I just took that one and changed up some notes on the bottom, and I had that thing done in about 3 minutes. So,
Well,
look,
I want to say one thing. 10 years ago, if you'd ever told me I would be sitting on a Facebook show with Robby Royal, I would have called you an absolute liar. This guy here is my barbecue hero. And,
Well,
you talked about his class a while ago. We've had some pretty good success down there in the GBA style cook-off at Myron Mixon's Hog Drop 2 years in a row. Reserve Grand 1 year and Grand 1 year, and it's due to that guy's class right there. And so I just want to say honored to be on there with Robby Royal tonight. And it's good to be on with you too, Mike. You're a legend in your own time, brother.
I wouldn't say that. maybe in my own mind, that's about it. So, I'd say more race car stuff than anything. So,
my comeback
well.
to that is if you'd have told me 10 years ago I'd still be cooking barbecue, I'd have said you're crazy, but still doing it. So
yeah, you still rolling, brother. You are killing it too, man. These new recipes. So let's talk a little bit about that, and then John, we're gonna kind of get in a little bit of what you had going on this weekend.
Sure.
And you had a stellar weekend. We'll talk about that. But Robby, you kind of got the heads up. I know you had been running the same rubs and sauces and everything for ever,
about 10 years, 10,
ever,
11, 12 years, yeah.
And you just haven't changed, and you've made it work, and it's always done good for you. But tell us how why you started going to new rubs. You kind of got a little bit of privy information that Oak Ridge was going to go out of business well before the month notice that we had. So tell us a little bit about how that transpired, and then what you started doing not to have to change up everything.
Yeah, well, we all know Mike Trump decided to just basically shut his business down. I know COVID put a hurting on everything, but Mike Trump made some great products for a lot of years, and I'm very fortunate to have been with Mike and Oak Ridge Barbecue and an ambassador for that rub. I don't know, 10 years or so, and I've always said keep it simple, stupid, don't reinvent the wheel, and it's worked for me really well for all those years. And then when I found out that was going to happen, I decided then that I needed to go ahead and jumpstart trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And I've always been ambassador for Butcher Barbecue and David Boskin. He's got amazing rubs, and I just started utilizing a few more of those, as well as I've always used a couple of Heath Riles products in my my recipes, and I'm a Heath Riles ambassador this year. I represent Heath Riles Barbecue also, barbecue rubs and sauces, and I found a way without changing my sauces or my injections. I found some combos. It was a little trial and error, and it cost me a little bit in Team of the Year points last year, but I just felt like I don't have a lot. Most of you know I have a 2-year-old now, 21-month-old, and so it's hard to cook here at the house, and it's hard to get my family to eat the barbecue that I cook at the house because they don't care. You just don't want it. They have it all the time, and but I started some trial and error stuff at competitions, in competition, and when I found it, it clicked, especially with ribs, loin, and pork. And then I started working on brisket towards the end of the year, and was excited to take Rib Team of the Year last year. I think I was third in pork in Team of the Year last year, and second, I was first runner-up in Team of the Year points last year using these new recipes. I cooked my old recipes in February, and then starting in March and April, I was going with I was troubleshooting, trying to figure out combinations. And I found those combinations to work with what I already use, like I said, with sauce and rubs.
Right.
And I took a 4th place hog and a 1st place hog using my pork recipe. And I was fortunate enough in the one competition I cooked, FBA contest in January, and my brisket took a 1st place, which I was super excited about. I thought it was good, but you just don't know until you go to a contest with 50 teams in it. Right. And to have that result, I was just amazed. But I've cooked a couple more around here, and I'm really excited about them. We're cooking a few more KCBS later in the year and next year, as well as a couple of FBA contests. And my chicken took a 2nd place at that FBA contest, and I wasn't sure about it, but there's a new rub Heath Riles has that's just amazing on chicken, and you'll see that in the videos coming up, coming back out tomorrow. And I'm just super excited where I am. I've got a new fire under me, and I want to go win a team of the year with these rubs. But more importantly, I just finished my last competition for the next couple of months in GBA, because I'm going to Memphis in May in 3 weeks, and I'm not going just to cook. I'm going for one reason, that's to bring it back. And I think we've got the product and the team put together to do it.
That's going to be awesome. So what are you going to cook? What are you cooking in Memphis in May?
2 whole hogs, baby. We're ready.
You're gonna go for the big
ancillaries also. We'll be doing. Okay. They've got ancillaries, $75 entry, and 1st place in each ancillary, I think, is $2,500 or $3,500. So, woo! Yeah, we're doing a beef,
yes, sir.
A chicken, a turkey, a hot wing, anything but, and what else is there? An exotic, and then 3 sauces. I'll actually be using my original Rescue Smoker sauces that I used to sell locally here, and I'm excited about them. So, and entering those contests, but I'm really excited about the team we've got put together for the Rescue Dream Team to go out to Memphis.
That's going to be cool. I'm going to try to get up there. I mean, that's my game plan, is to try to go to Memphis in May and hang out with you. And I know Mark's going to be there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot of, man, my schedule is just getting packed tight. We got a couple more classes that we're going to try to get filmed. And I got cook-off this weekend. I got a cook-off the following weekend. I just came off a cook-off. And then Suzette was like, "Are you crazy? You got a cook-off this weekend. You got a cook-off this past weekend, the next weekend. We got them one on the 4th. You're going to be gone to Memphis on the 12th or 13th, whatever that is.
13th through the 20th, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you do what you got to do. Right?
Well, it's destiny, but it's destiny. I know. Happy birthday early to you. I know that's coming Thursday for you, but mine's coming May the 20th, the day of Memphis in May. So might as well give myself
there we go.
That day.
Yeah, that'd be a great birthday present right there.
But what really excites me is members that I've got put together for this Rescue Smokers Dream Team in Memphis are all Rescue Smokers Cook School alumni. I've got Chuck and Carrie East of Off the Chain, who have taken Team of the Year 2 years in a row, beaten me out 2 years in a row for 2nd. And they're actually slightly behind me this year. I'm excited because it may not be that way after the next cook. They're in 2nd place right now. And then I've got Alan and Lisa O'Neill of Shark Bite Barbecue, who are Rescue Smokers alumni, class alumni. And then I've got Wade Starkenberg out of with Wade Star Barbecue out of Washington, and I've got Shannon and Christy Graham, Dang Good Barbecue out of Alabama. So it's a heck of a team that's been put together. My son-in-law will be there, Stephanie will be there, Ford will be there. And I'm excited. I'm ready to go. It's been 11 years since I cooked Memphis, and I'm hopefully going to get to do it a few years in a row now.
That's good. That's
awesome.
Good. Yeah. Well, like I said, if you're interested, you can purchase Robby's class at barbecuechamps.com, bbqchamps.com, and just right on the homepage, scroll down to where all our barbecue pitmasters are, and you'll see Robby. Sometime probably tomorrow.
Pretty face right here.
Yeah, pretty face. Sometime tomorrow we're going to try to get those videos up. Even if you buy the class now, these videos will be automatically added to your account. So it doesn't matter. You can buy now in the 2023 updates. As soon as they...
Did we lose you, Mike?
Mike, your mic went out, brother.
There we go. I don't know what happened
there. You go.
But if you buy the class now, you'll still get the 2023 updated recipes. We're going to make an announcement sometime tomorrow and as soon as they're up, they'll be there. So go to bbqchamps.com, scroll down about mid-page, and you'll see Robby. You'll go in and you can buy his all-access class and get the newest. You'll get his old recipes. There's a lot of those that are just out of date because of the Oak Ridge situation.
Yes.
But his new stuff, I'm telling you right now, I think your new stuff's better than what you had, because
I do too.
You have been on fire. So
Awesome.
Yeah, I can't complain. I mean, I'm excited because it's got me. I've kind of tried to stay close to home for a couple of years and not go way off and cook and stuff like that. But I'm excited about cooking FBA again. I'm excited about cooking KCBS because I know these flavor profiles are going to work, and I'm excited about what I can do for folks. You know me, it's about teaching folks. Like when I actually went up to see John at the Hog Drop last year, and then to find out later on that he won grand champion was so exciting. I was excited. I know he was, but I was super excited for him. And I didn't do a whole lot. It's to cook. Most of it's to cook. There's a few techniques in the GBA that you need to know for that loin and stuff. But I am super. I don't get excited a lot anymore, but I'm super excited about the new profiles that I've got out there. I'm ready to see them. I'm ready to see folks using them, and let's go rescue style, baby. I'm ready.
That's it. That's it. Well, Bill Purvis joined the party, Chicken Fried Barbecue. This is another guy that's been on an absolute tear.
Who's that? Does he cook?
Huh?
Bill Purvis cooks.
Yeah, once or twice. I don't know. I mean, he's been slacking lately. Yeah, he'll cook 3 or 4 or 5 weeks. He'll be off. He'll cook again. He goes to these 200 competitions, 250, 300 people.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you, that guy right
He's
there
bad. He's a bad man.
He's a bad man. He is a cooking machine. He cooks every single weekend. I'm like, man, I'm too old for that crap. So anyway, but yeah, Bill's been doing really good, and he's got a great class as well. Lots of people have taken it and doing incredibly well. So anyway, well, we're looking forward to the classes, and I think everybody's going to really like them. We really went into the details to show you how the rubs and stuff went on, all the way to the point of Robby bought meats and put it on so you could see how it was layered. So we talked you right through it. All right, Robby. Well, let's get this man a little airtime here. Mr. John Lindsey, brother, you've been kind of tearing it up here in the SCA. Last year, you finished off pretty strong, and man, you're coming off a huge win down at Bama Q in Mobile, Alabama, at the USS Alabama Memorial Park. That had to be a fun cook-off, great times, and had a big win. So, tell us what's been going on with Mr. All Queued Up.
Well, first of all, I want to say that I missed the Robby Royal Dream Team.
Yeah, I did too.
Get on that one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I want to say this. Probably the success, and I haven't done a whole lot of barbecue in the last 4 or 5 years, but I have cooked selected contests over the last 3 or 4 years. And any success I've had has to do with this guy here, Robby Royal. Got to know him. He's a friend of mine. I'm really thankful. I follow Stephanie and Ford every day and watch what's going on there. Pray for you guys and want to see that little man. I want to grab him up and hold him one of these days and just meet
you
that
better
little
not.
man.
You'll throw your back out.
But I will say this. But that class is, I had some great success down there to Myron Mix and Hog Drop in Unadilla. That's right in Robby's backyard down there. And I used all of his techniques, especially on the loin. He has a loin technique that is second to none. And the class it's worth buying the class just for the pork loin. And I do want to say that. Also want to say before we get started, I got a buddy in Harrisburg, Arkansas, owns a barbecue place, Big O's Ribs. David Owens, he's on here tonight for the first time. If you're ever in that area, check him out. He is one of my great friends, and he don't do a lot of contests, but probably one of the best barbecue guys you'll ever see. And also Jana Mays this weekend. Jana, you're on here with us. cooked one of the best ancillary bites that I have ever had in my
Wow.
life. And she did a crawfish and sausage. It was a pocket. It was I believe it was deep fried, but whatever it was, it should have won first place. It was the best I ever had. Jana Mays, I want to tell you, you were awesome this weekend. It was so good to see you.
Yeah.
Uh, Mike,
Let,
going on now. Just to be
let, let,
honest, we
let,
have
let
been
me
on.
answer. Let me answer a question real quick. This guy
Yeah.
was this Dean Henry at 7:24 said, "Do you do any online classes?" And then 5 minutes later, I guess you don't answer questions. See ya. Man, I'm getting the answers to questions and stuff as fast as I can, Dean. If you're gone, well,
He's still
sorry.
here. He's still here.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, we do
Good.
online classes. I could say that. Well, it's
Good.
Barbecue Champs Academy. So yes, we do online classes. I thought everybody knew that, but go to bbqchamps.com. We got a whole host of them. So
That's right. And when you get
anyway,
on there, check out Robby Royal. He'll give you some
yeah,
good stuff. I
we got a
That's
promise.
few of
right.
them there. All right. So yes, don't want to make nobody mad, but I've got 100 different things going, and comments are coming across, and trying to keep you guys
Yeah.
going as well. So just if y'all ask a question, we'll get to it. So, oh
And
goodness gracious! All right, buddy, go ahead.
well, and Candace Rogers just said Jana won first place with a perfect score. So I knew she got there close. So I had that ancillary, and it was awesome.
That's good.
But anyway, I want to tell you, Mike. Yeah, I've had a good year this year. I've got 4 first place wins. That's pretty tough
It's
anymore in the
good.
State
It's
Yeah,
Cook-Off
good.
Association.
yeah,
And the reason being because of Barbecue Champs Academy, it's made it tougher for us guys that have taught these classes. I remember being behind Johnny Joseph one day in the line to pick steaks, and he had his eye on a steak as he was going up there, and somebody got the steak he was looking at, and he made a comment. He said, "Man, we've taught too many people how to pick steaks and cook."
that's
so
it.
so everybody's good out there now.
Yeah,
There's not any slouches out there. Everybody's
But
great. And I'm glad to see that and be a part of it. But that makes it more important for you to just hone your craft and try to do the very best you can. We practice a lot at home, and this was my 4th win of the year. I did. I think I won an Open Alabama State Championship Open. I had 2 contests that I won back to back in Arkansas. That was 1/10 of a point from a perfect
wow.
score. This weekend I had a perfect taste score, and if my done this all there was 4 judges that said my doneness was perfect. One said it was a 9, and that cost me a perfect score this weekend.
wow.
But we still had a first place. So anyway, to make a long story short, we've been flirting with that perfect score, and we're excited to be able to still, like Robby, still after all this time, be able to get out and compete and do what we do.
Yeah.
Yep,
We're
yep,
happy about that and blessed to be able to do it.
yeah,
But you know what also, John, you touched on it a minute ago. There's nothing like watching the folks that we know have taken our classes that are John and
That's
Lindsey
right.
alumni, that are BBQ Champs alumni or Rescue Smokers alumni, from taking the classes. I'm just as excited to see. I had a guy that cooked this weekend, made his first final in ribs. Another 2
Yep.
guys that took the class, they made their first final ever this weekend. That's the type of things that keeps me going,
That's awesome.
makes me want to continue to hone my craft, just like you. And what you're doing with steak, you and Terry Roan and the guys and gals here on BBQ Champs, man, I've cooked a few of your steaks. I've had some of your steak to eat, and wow, is all I can say. But
yep, yep. Daniel's saying
Well,
any word on John's updated class? Yes, we are. John's been super busy. We've got classes that we have been trying to get scheduled. The weather has just been not cooperating, and so we're working on something for John. And as soon as it is done and out, we will certainly let everybody know. So
Well, and Caitlin Crane's right there, and she's part of our team Arcasipi. And I want to say I don't. She watches your show every week, just
Oh
like
yeah.
me, because I see her on here every week. And I want to tell you that's I met that girl Robby in a barbecue contest in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and I can't tell you what year it was, but she had never cooked anything, and she come up to me. I was introduced to her by a friend, and they said she wants to learn to cook barbecue, and she really wants to learn to cook steak. And I shook her hand and talked to her there for a minute, and knew she was a great
Yeah.
person, but I never thought any more about it. And I walked off there, and she had took my barbecue champs class, and she had just progressed on her own. And her husband Brandon got behind her,
Yeah.
and now those guys are a driving force. The Crane jet airplane, not a train, but they started out the Crane train, but now they're the Crane space shuttle, and
Right.
and he has done no telling what in ancillary, and she has winning stake. I come in behind her in the Alabama championship, and I was more proud for her than I was myself winning. And it's just what you said, Robby. It's giving back and seeing these people that have took your classes and that you can support to get behind them and support them. And that's just a classic example. And there's Mr. Hottie Toddy himself on here tonight, Mr. Ronald Burns.
Oh, Mr.
Well, you
Ronald.
know, I tease Ronald a lot, I tease about Ronald a lot, but I want to tell you, he's helped me not only in our collaboration on products and rubs in our team Arcasipi, but he's helped me to be a better person, a better cook. And you know, iron sharpens iron, and that guy right there is solid. We've been in the trenches, we've been everywhere together, and that man right there and his family is as solid as a rock. And so good to see you, Mr. Hottie Toddy. Glad you're here. And there's Marcio. He was there with us and gave us some encouragement this weekend and did well in stake. He'll do well no matter what he does.
Oh,
So
that's for
good
sure.
to
Marcio's
see you,
bad.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. He's a bad dude. I cannot get Ronald to help me on ribs.
brother.
It's funny. Let's see what Caitlin says. Appreciate that so much, John. Blessed to call you our family. There you go. Caitlin is such a sweetheart. I absolutely love her. So I
Oh, she's great.
always got a smile from ear to ear. I've never seen her not smiling and happy. So let's
She's
see.
in it for the right reasons, and that makes all the difference in the world. But going back to this thing, yeah, we've had a great year. We've got our process really nailed down right now to the letter. And you know, it's not, you know, there's folks out here, honestly, Mike and Robby, you've seen people like this. They go out there and they feel like they got to win or are going to win every time they go. And you guys have competed enough to know that we are not going to win every time we go.
Yeah.
But what we can do is hit all of our marks. We've cooked enough barbecue and steaks to know
Yeah.
if we're hitting the mark or not. And we can taste it, feel it, look at it. We've done enough. We can do it in our sleep. And you know, if I go out and hit my marks, whether the judges feel like it was great that day or not, I've had a successful cook. And that's the only way you can get out here and compete and live with yourself is know where the end product has got to end up,
Mhm.
know what to do to get it there, and if things get off track, get it back sideways from being sideways and get it there, and then be happy with your end product.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
saw
Yeah.
I saw your chicken, Mike, this weekend, and I believe that was some of the prettiest half chickens I've ever seen. And you know it's good, so it's going to hit somewhere down the line. And
Hoping.
I've turned some steaks in this year that didn't do well, but I knew that they had hit my marks, and that's all
Right.
you can do.
Right. All right. So
So
we got a question from Edgar. Do the classes help more with techniques, temperatures, doneness, or tailored more to follow the teacher's flavor profiles also? All right, so I'll take a little stab at it, and I'll let you guys come in as well, because I'm going to give
yeah,
you feedback that I get from everybody that has taken, not everybody, a lot of people that have taken classes in our private message. If you buy an all access class, you get access to a private Facebook page with who's ever cook's class that you bought. So yes, do the classes help with techniques, temp, and doneness? Absolutely. I would say the majority of the cooks will show you techniques and temps and doneness that will help you win more competitions than anything else. We stress over and over, it's not recipes that necessarily win a competition. Would you gentlemen agree?
Right.
1,000,000%.
Okay.
I think the three that he's got listed there: technique,
Yeah.
temp, doneness, and some of the simple things. You know, one of the biggest, I preach it all the time, and I'm not afraid to say it here. One of my big things, the first thing I say on my online classes and when I teach live classes is, whatever you're going to practice with, whatever meat you're going to cook in a contest, you need to practice with that type of meat, you know.
That's right.
And I mean,
Yes,
that's
sir.
what builds consistency. You got to build consistency. But yeah, you take our flavor profiles too for the beginning. You
Yeah.
don't want to cook exactly what I cook. You want to work your way into doing what you want to do and become your own pitmaster, your own person, your own flavors.
Yep.
And but some of the techniques from the steak cooks, from the barbecue cooks that are on BBQ Champs, I've been very fortunate to see a lot of their videos and know that we all do a lot of things almost exactly alike. And that's a big part. Your techniques are probably the biggest part, and the little secret tips you get throughout the videos.
Yep, there you go. And I think that's it. You know, yeah, the techniques, the temperature, the doneness, that's the first part of it. And start off maybe cooking what they're doing so you can taste what the flavor profile is. Go out, try it, see how it's doing, and then make slight tweaks from that, not getting too far off, but to kind of spin it and make it your own. If it takes you in a bad direction and you drop, go back to it, and then, okay, let me go try that again. So that's the key. Yes, you'll definitely pick up techniques. I've got a few people that's kind of popped in. Now, Steven has taken Bill Purvis's class. He's taken Lee Hickle's class. This is a bad chicken cooker. Steven, you need to come cook my chicken for me this weekend. He's had a first place chicken 2 weeks ago in Fort Worth with 70 teams. He had a first place chicken this past weekend. I think there was 53, 55 teams. And he says, I think techniques was the biggest thing that I learned. And I know the 2 classes you took, Lee Hickle is a very technical class, and so is Bill Purvis, you know, and all the guys. I mean, the barbecue guys especially are incredibly technical, and the steak guys and gals as well, because, man, there's some things these guys and gals do on steaks that'll blow your stinking mind. So,
yeah, I think one thing, I know John's wanting to say something, but it's like I've watched his videos multiple times on steaks. And he uses some techniques similar to what I do on loin. There's tricks to getting a certain color meat on the outside that doesn't come from the cooking process. It comes from what we do beforehand. Same with pork loin, same with ribs. And it's that's what it's all about, is learning those tricks, because what judges are looking for in my part of the country compared to other parts of the country may be a little different. But at the same time, you've got to, I don't like what I cook for competition, but the judges love it. And that's who I want to love it. They're the ones that make it ching.
That's it.
But I agree with you, Mike.
And
that
is the first thing a competition cook has to learn, is you are not cooking for yourself anymore.
Yeah.
You're not cooking for your family. You're cooking for those judges. And when you learn that and are able to turn your ego loose a little bit, then you learn how to do it. I want to say 2 or 3 things, Mike, just real quick. First of all, one of my favorite cooks is Jacques Pepin, that French chef. He is a collaborator. He is just one of the best of the best. And he says that I only cook a recipe according to the recipe one time. And then after that, I figure out my own pattern after that. So I want to know what it's supposed to taste like first, and then I deviate from that. So here's what I want to say. Case in point, I took Robby Royal's class to get sharpened up for the GBA. Sure, we've cooked barbecue and had success at it, but I wanted a good GBA style class that would go not on GBA, but all the way across the board. Robby's got that class. He can win in KCBS, FBA, GBA, MBN. He can do it all. It's just all across the board. So I wanted that, and I took his class, and I used all of our Arcasipi rubs
Mm-hmm.
and Heath Riles pork injection on everything I did. Now that's not exactly what Robby used, but I knew as long as you have a good balance of flavor. Robbie's got his particular balance of flavor, but I knew enough about flavor to balance those rubs out, and I had a great injection. I used his techniques with our stuff, and the techniques made a huge difference. That made all the difference in the world. As long as you've got a balanced flavor with a little kick on the end, I believe, and if you got your technique right, if
Mm-hmm.
you cook it right, your technique's right, you've got you've got your doneness right, and those things, and all that comes from technique.
Yep.
I think that the flavor profile, and I'll probably get blasted for this, but I believe the flavor profile is secondary to
Mm-hmm.
everything we do. The
Yep.
judge is going to taste the last things that you put on a piece of meat. It's your finishing dust, it's your sauces. As long as you can get your rubs on there and stay balanced at first with a good color and do the things that you need to do, what you put on the end of that product is going to make all the difference in the world. So, Ben Howard's on here tonight. He said, learn your craft and control what you can control.
Yep. That's
Mike
Mm-hmm.
right.
Steele, you probably heard that phrase before.
Yeah, several times. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah, let's see. Glad things like the class are available to learn for new cooks. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of new cooks. I mean, you know, I'd almost say if you're a new cook in the SCA, you just about have to take a class because there's
Yeah.
probably only about 600 people in the SCA cooking that I know of that have taken classes from Barbecue Champs. And a
Yeah.
lot of those have taken 3 or 4 classes, and some of them have taken every one of them. So that's what you're
Yeah.
going up. You're going up. You're a new cook. You're going up against probably 700 people, at least 600 people out there in the SCA that have taken classes. That's got all the knowledge of world champions, five or six of you guys, and you gotta keep up with that. So it's hard to learn it on your own. So
And our classes aren't just for competitors. I
oh
mean,
no,
I know how many folks can't even think of how many folks want to learn how to cook that perfect steak or cook the perfect rib. And in all our videos, we focus on that. We're not just focusing towards the competition cooks. We're
right,
focusing on the folks that want to be king of the cul-de-sac, want
that's
to be
right.
the champion in that backyard, want to impress his neighbors because he knows they can't impress anyone else like
Yep,
that.
yep,
And that's a huge thing about what we've done, what you've done with these classes, Mike, is, I had to get my mind wrapped around that, cook things for the common person, not just a competitor. We do that in these classes, and that's what excites me.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. All right, John's question for you: what grills are you guys using for steak comps?
Well, about 80% of the time, I'm going to cook on a hasty baked Suburban. It's the most versatile charcoal grill that I found on the market. Love that grill. There's a lot of folks cooking on the HB 250 in the Ranger. What I like about the Suburban, it's a little bit bigger than the Ranger, and you still have the mechanism where you can roll it up, roll it down. It makes a big difference on your fire management. So it makes it really versatile. As a versatile grill, you can sear, bake, and grill all on the same cooker.
Yeah.
And the other 20% of the time, I have used Camp Chef grills, and people say, "Well, man, that's a pellet grill." Yes, it is, and it's a Hoss too. It does an excellent job. It has the heat diverter you can pull off, and with a sear station and a heat wave attachment from Smoking Brothers, you can get 700 degrees on your grill
Wow.
grates. It'll do everything that needs to be done. But about 80% of the time, hasty baked. The other 20, I'm using maybe 10, 20% of the time uh, the pellet grill. Just depends on the situation, what I've got on my trailer that day. But
Have
um,
you have
I'm
you had
I'm
any top have you had any top calls with a pellet cooker?
yes, sir. I've won several events on the pellet cooker, and Pop grilling products. You got to have a really good pellet. You want something that'll burn hot. And I know you always give us just a little time at the end to talk about our sponsors, but I
Right.
do want to say we tied in with Papa's Grilling Products out of Mountain View, Arkansas, Fiber Energy Group, back 2 years ago, and they have some of the hottest burning pellets that I've ever had in my life with the lowest ash, and we feel like that's kind of a secret weapon about what we do, and I guess I let the cat out of the bag, didn't I?
That's
But
good.
it really elevates your pellet grill to the next level. And Robby, I don't know about you, but I every time I post something on about a pellet grill out there, the backyard quarterbacks or the Facebook people
Warriors. Yeah.
will say, yeah. The Facebook warriors will always have something to say about a pellet grill. Well, I want to tell you this. At home, I cook. I've got no telling how many grills here. I bet you I've got 25 grills out here, and they're everything from offset cookers to this new hasty bake roughneck will be one of the legacy grills for hasty bake. I'm cooking on it now and doing videos with it, and it is one of the best cookers I've ever cooked on. I love it, but I also love to cook on a pellet grill when you go out there and turn it on and try to get that flavor out of a pellet grill that I'd get um, off my hasty bake or off a cooker gravity fed or an offset, and there's ways to do that, and so I like them all. Man, I don't I love I love every grill out there. I just love grills,
You're an
and
equal grill
like pellet grills too.
opportunist. There you go.
I
You're
am
an equal grill
100%. Yes, sir.
opportunist. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I don't cook on
Good.
gas much, but I
No,
like
I don't
that
cook on
pellet
no
grill, I
gas.
promise
Hey, there's a pellet.
you.
I'm telling you right now, the pellet cookers will put out some serious smoke. So there's a
They will.
lot of people. There is a lot of people in competition barbecue right now that
Mhm.
are cooking chicken, ribs, and brisket on pellet cookers, and they are getting a lot of top 10 calls in grand champions and reserves. So
That's right.
uh, they work. They've got the technology figured out, the analytics on those things. They produce way more smoke than they used to, and they're definitely uh, they're definitely getting better. So,
Yep, they are.
all right. Well, let's see. Well, we're about that time to wrap things up, Robby. I'm going to give you a few minutes to thank all your sponsors.
Well, all I can say is thanks to Barbecue Champs. I mean, sponsor, no, it's part of my family. And Barbecue Champs can help anyone cook better. I promise you. Even your backyard classes that you have on there, Mike, the steak cooks, the folks who focus on KCBS, MBN, and so forth. Just the pitmasters that we have are the best of the best. Chicken fried. That guy, what's his name, Bill Purvis, that he dealies with it. I mean, his class, there's no telling how many folks are going to be helped by that class right now, as well as others. But huge thanks to my sponsors, Stump Smokers, Heath Riles Barbecue, Butcher Barbecue. David Bosca's products are amazing. Flame Boss, Prairie Fresh, Atlanta Barbecue Store. If you need it, they got it. Cowboy Charcoal, thank y'all. That sharpening guy, and Tennyson Nissan. I appreciate everybody that helps me, because without it, it's hard to keep going out here, and the sponsors are hard to come by. And just to be part of the Heath Riles ambassador group, as well as David Bosca, Butcher Barbecue, been using that product longer than any on the market. And he's a bad man too.
Yeah.
There's so many bad men cooking on BBQ Champs. You're crazy if you just don't keep. I like learning. I've been very fortunate to be able to swap out classes with several of these guys, give my to them, and vice versa. And I learn something just about every time. I learn something every time I go cook. So
Right.
my Barbecue Champs classes, I'm telling you, they'll make a difference in your barbecue results.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Edgar's got another question. My last question. When signing up for classes, does it tell which one is right for you? I cook on WSMs. How would I know which class to choose or which one to choose? Well, I actually put in the bio, once you get down toward the bottom, it says what type of grill they're cooking on.
Yeah.
Bill Purvis cooks on drums, so a WSM is pretty much will operates the same as a drum. Bill cooks exclusively on drums. And Robert Smith cooks exclusively on drums. Okay, so they're both Texas cookers. They're both phenomenal. Bill Purvis is our newest class. He has been absolutely killing it. He's got 6 state championships already and only needs one more to get an
One
automatic
more.
bid to the Jack.
Awesome.
Robert Smith is another incredible cooker. He won World Food Champion. I think he had 19 Grand Champions last year before last. 19 GCs in 1 year. He is a phenomenal cooker. Both of those guys.
Workhorse.
He is a
Yeah.
workhorse. I mean, he is cooking every weekend. So Robert Smith and Bill Purvis, chicken fried barbecues, cooking every single weekend. These guys are just the best of the best. Those two are exclusive drum cookers only. Sterling Smith, he cooks in Arizona. He cooks a lot of West Coast stuff. He cooks a couple of his meats on drums. And I think he cooks his chicken, or maybe it was his ribs, on a pellet cooker. So he does mix up a little bit with pellet cooker and drums. So, and he cooks a lot in Arizona, up in Utah. He's more on the West Coast. So look at those, and I think that will help you out on narrowing it down. All right, you're up, John.
Well, first of all, I want to say this with the most sincere heart that I can. It is my honor to be on this show tonight with Mike Steele and Robbie Roy.
Same here,
Hey,
John.
Love you guys.
Robbie, mute your speakers for just a second. There we go. Okay.
Did you hear me? Ford
Yeah, we're
must be
getting a
tearing
lot
it
of
up.
tearing it up. Sorry, guys, for the echo. Robbie's in
Hey,
a house with all the kiddos. So when you get ready to
I'm
speak again,
tickled.
Robbie, you can just unmute yourself. But it's definitely better. So, all right, go
I'm
ahead.
tickled to death. Ford is tearing it up.
Oh yeah, he
I
is.
can't wait to see that little man. We have prayed for him and Robbie's family, and most of you are following him. And please continue to do that.
Yeah,
I tell you what, it does my heart good to watch him. I watch Ford's journey on Facebook, so I'm
yeah,
keeping up with him.
absolutely.
So just real quick, again, it's really my honor to be on here tonight with Robbie Royal and you, Mike Steele. You don't give yourself enough credit, but you're a great cook, my friend, and you're just knocking lights out. And Robbie, you're a hero, brother, and it's good to see you. Thank you for all the support and just befriending an old boy that was comes from the middle of 2 cotton fields out here. I really do appreciate that. I do want to say I'm really honored and I'm really proud to be a part of Team Arcasipi. This is a team Ron and I started back when COVID was happening. We started our Arcasipi Smoke Live show and we built a team around that. And Mike, if we weren't cooking, the group of people that we have assembled all across the United States, there's 65 people that I can tell that's part of that team. That it's not about products, it's not about rubs. Um, you know, it's just about a camaraderie and a family. And I want to say just publicly here tonight, I love the people on this team, and thank you for being my friends and just being our folks that we can turn to. We enjoy the fellowship, and we are blessed to have you. And I'm proud and honored to be a part of Team Arcasipi. And my sponsors are Barbecue All Stars. Pete, and Melissa Cookston are some of the best people I know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to tell you, I got to know them. He called me last year just out of the blue. He'd been seeing me on Facebook, and we got to talking. And I'm going to tell you, those folks are just like my family. Love them. Pete and Melissa Cookston, thank you for allowing me to be part of Barbecue All Stars. Papa's Grilling Products, Mr. Steve DeVoe and Michael Woods. There are no better people in this world than those folks. They have got behind me every which way you could get behind a guy. Thank you for doing that. It means a lot. Craig Sherry with Texas Pepper Jelly. Craig, thank you. We have a lot of the same philosophies, and I'm going to do more with them as we pick up. But Craig and I are brand partners, and I think a lot of Craig and his product is, to my knowledge, I'm just telling you, I've tried a lot of it. He's got one of the best and the original product on the market, and I love the product. Hasty Baked Grills, Nick Parsons, thank you, brother, for all you've done for me and all the support, standing with us. And some of the best cookers in the world, and Townsend Spice and Supply, they produce our product. And Shane and Lawson Lynn, Wayne and Gunner works up there in the office, Tim in the back. They're great folks. And if I can just indulge one more minute, I want to say something about three people uh, that I love dearly and that have always supported me, and I'm thankful for. And these are friends. This is outside of my family. Number one, the guy was on here tonight, David Owens. That guy's been with me through thick and thin, and when I was on top, he was my friend. When I was in the valley and down about as low as a guy could get, he was my friend. You can count those kind of friends on one hand, and I love you, brother, and I appreciate you. And then Ronald Burns, he's the same way. Appreciate Ronald Burns. He's made me a better cook, a better person, and appreciate his partnership with our Arcasipi. And another one is Brent Howard. He is a brother I never had, and I appreciate Brent Howard. That guy right there, God bless me when he put that man right there in my life. And of course, you guys, Mike Steele and Robby Royal. And so we've got a lot of folks we can mention tonight. Caitlin Crane's on here. Candace Rogers is on here. There's so many, but we love all of you. Kevin Peterson's right down here. And it's good to have you tonight. Love you guys, and thank you for allowing me to be on the show.
Thank you. All right, Robby, unmute yourself, brother.
I'm muted.
There we go. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, guys, I really do appreciate y'all being with us. Robby, we'll get your classes up. You'll be looking for that
I'm
new
excited.
promo video that we made, so I'll ping you when we got it live. And you guys be looking for that. You can go to bbqchamps.com. And that will be pretty much, well, everything. So we're really glad that we had everybody with us tonight. It was such a great show. I hope you'll join us next week. That's it. What did I do? 60. Shut up. Shh.
Really, though, Mike, thank you for all that you do for the barbecue world. A lot of folks don't thank you, and how many folks you've helped put. I know when you called me and you just had this harebrained idea and we discussed it, I was already trying to get something going like this, but you're a huge part of success of the SCA and barbecue world because of your idea of getting BBQ champs. So congrats.
I appreciate it. It means a lot, and I couldn't do it without people like you and all the other barbecue pit masters and steak grill masters, and obviously the support that we have gotten from literally thousands and thousands of customers that have bought our classes. And from the bottom of my heart, I greatly appreciate all the support that y'all continue to give Barbecue Champs. We're trying to do things to make you better, and y'all are supporting us so we can continue to bring in new cooks and do things to continue that education. Because as Lee Hickle told me, he said, if you ain't, or no, I think it was Fred Robles once said, if you're not taking a class every year in barbecue, you're not going to grow. You have to take a class every year to do it. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody who joined us tonight. Y'all go out there this week. Be safe. Enjoy the week. And as we always say,